Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I want to know who out there is looking forward to the Blackout. You guys, it's going to be so much fun. And I know you're hearing more and more about the Blackout. You will be hearing more and more about it as the days get closer. And if you don't know what the Blackout is by now, it is the meet and greet event that we're having out here in Atlanta. It is Kevin and Mikhail from The Scorpion Show and Candy from Sweet Addiction TVs. They're putting on this whole big shebang out here, Labor Day weekend, September 5th. Okay, that's Saturday before Labor Day. From 3 to 8, we will be all gathering at the Crow's Nest out here in Atlanta and having a good time. Just got off of a conference call last night and it's moving along and it's moving along good. So we're looking forward to it happening. I'm hoping that you guys are all looking forward to it happening. Again, it is open to everybody, whoever wants to come. They are taking donations and there is a GoFundMe that I will leave the link for you guys. If you want to give donations, you are welcome to give it. You don't have to give to come. So donations are completely if you just feel, if the spirit leads you. Okay, I guess there's been some confusion about what this is, and it's strictly just a party. It's a meet and greet. It will be a lot of featured YouTubers that will be there, and we're gonna have food, we're gonna have drinks, people are gonna be up and talking and having a good time. We did actually say yesterday that we probably will have a little Q&A session with everybody's there and the YouTubers, whoever you want to speak to, if you have any questions. But for the most part, you guys, it's just a party. It's just a get together for everybody to see your favorite YouTubers. I thought it was a really, really good idea, and I think it's just something that's going to show that Black people can get together and have a good time, and that it'll be a successful event with no drama. That's what we got going on here, you guys. So like I said, I'll leave all the information about it in the box below. We were able to secure hotel rooms at the Airport Holiday Inn Express, and the rooms are going to be $116 a night. Double occupancy. If you're going to be coming with somebody, you can share rooms with them and cut down costs, whatever you guys decide to do. I just want everybody who wants to participate. I would really like to see everyone there. It's gonna be a good time, y'all. Stone Cold Groove, okay? We're having a good time, so y'all come on out for that. And I think that's pretty much it. I was just letting y'all know about the Blackout. Are you coming? First up, let's talk about the killing of 50-year-old Walter Scott in North Charleston, South Carolina last week. I'm sure you all have heard about the story of Walter Scott, who was driving in a Mercedes-Benz with a busted tail light. He was pulled over by the policeman by the name of Michael Slager. And for whatever reason, after Mr. Scott got out of his car, he ran from Officer Slager. So Officer Slager chased him to like an abandoned lot. The official report says that there was a struggle in this lot, that Walter Scott tried to take the stun gun of Officer Slager and then proceeded to run. Officer Slager then shot at him because he was in fear for his life. Shot 8 shots. They're saying that 5 shots hit Mr. Scott and that he was killed on the scene. And that was the way that the report was expected to be filed until a bystander by the name of Feed and Santana got in touch with the family to let them know that he had video of what exactly happened on that fateful day. And on the video, it shows a different story. Now, it picks up only when they're in the abandoned lot, but what it looks like is Mr. Scott and Officer Slager were speaking with each other. For whatever reason, Officer Slager tried to hit Walter Scott with the stun gun, at which point it looked like Walter Scott turned around and started running. In the video, you can actually see the silver line as reflected off of the sunlight of the taser wire. Then you see something drop to the ground, which we're going to presume was the stun gun, but Walter Scott was running down the street or running down this abandoned lot, and Officer Slager pulled out his gun and shot the 8 shots. Hit him 5 times, killed him at the scene. So yeah, a very different story from what Officer Slager did. Actually, on the video, it also shows that Officer Slager actually picks up the stun gun after he shoots the gentleman, and then walks up to him and drops it right next to Walter Scott. And then when he calls in the shooting, he says that, you know, that the perpetrator was down, that he tried to steal his stun gun. So yeah, it's a difference there, a difference in story. Once the video was released, the mayor of North Charleston immediately distanced himself and the department from Officer Slager. They immediately fired him, and he was then arrested, you know, for charges of murder. So people are saying that, you know, we don't even know if this would have happened if the video wasn't there. We've seen enough of this happen to not have that much faith in the, you know, the whole justice system at this moment. I'm just going to say that it was very smart of the mayor to act swiftly on this. And honey, South Carolina and Charleston in particular has many of its stigma. You know, that's where the slave trade happened, and there are many parts of South Carolina, people say, that still have that kind of slave mentality. So this was a smart thing for the mayor to do. Okay, he's standing behind the charges and saying that right is right and wrong is wrong, and, you know, that Officer Slager has to pay for the decisions that he's made in this life. So whether or not he means it, I don't even care right now. Okay, he needed to do that only because we see right there on the video what exactly happened. Isn't it sad though that even with the video, I have a little nagging feeling that some kind of way the officer won't be brought to justice? I mean, I shouldn't feel like that, but it's just been so many other instances when things have happened, and I just, you know, I don't understand how anybody else can see it any differently. But in this case, okay, it seems like we say it all the time, but in this case, we see Walter Scott running. There's no way that the officer can say that he was in fear for his life or that others were in danger and that was the reason that he shot. It seems to be a clear-cut enough case that he shot this man down. Maybe he was tired of chasing him. Maybe because he was on an abandoned lot and it wasn't, you know, clearly seen to everybody that he thought that he can get away with. I don't know what made him do it, but he did it. They're saying that Walter Scott does have child support issues. They say he's been arrested at least 10 times prior because of those child support issues, and mostly there were warrants because he didn't show up in court. So no violent past. There's really no justification of them shooting this man down. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, you guys. It's very, very sad, and our prayers go up to the Walter Scott family. Yet another time when a man seemed to have been shot down like a dog in the street, unjustifiably so. So this will definitely be another case that the world is watching. I will be very, very disappointed if this Officer Slager is able to get out of it some kind of way. But you guys leave your comments about it below. Guys, and first up on the gossip, let's talk about the body slam that was heard around the world, and that would have been to your boy Plies, better known as the creator of Sweet Pussy Sad Day. Do you guys follow Plies on Instagram? If you don't, I don't know why the hell you don't. It's absolutely certain things that you must have in your life, and I'm telling you, Plies is one of them. I'm sure you guys already saw the video last Saturday night, the Saturday before Easter, while you guys was all preparing for Resurrection Day services. Plies was performing in some club somewhere. I'm sorry, I didn't even get the particulars on it, but he was performing on stage. He had all of his crew, all of his security, everybody up on stage with him. There was a young man out in the audience who I believe probably was quite inebriated. He looked like he was fucked up on something in addition to alcohol, and he was making some sort of scene, they said. So Plies, feeling like this was an overzealous fan, somebody that just wanted to talk to Plies, or, you know, wanted to be seen by Plies, he told him he invited the young man up on the stage with him. Once the young man got up on the stage, now this is where all the confusion goes. I finally saw another video. Somebody tweeted me a video of a gentleman that was there who made it more clear exactly what went on, because from the little 15-second Instagram things, it's hard to really tell what's going on. But Plies invited the guy up on stage. Plies has a song evidently coming out called The Color of Money, or that is a line in one of his songs that's coming out. So his DJ kept saying color money. He was saying color of money, but when you just saying it fast, it's just color money. everybody was thinking that it was the guy, including me. I thought it was the guy that was yelling out color money like that. Maybe that was his like rap handle, or maybe that was his crew name or his gang name or whatever, you know. The guy was standing there, he's like wobbling around, okay, nigga don't look lucid at all, and he's all up on Plies. You know, Plies is just like, wait a minute, bro, you know, you too close for us to be two niggas for you to be standing up on me. And the next thing you know, the guy just grabs Plies around the waist at the same time the DJ is saying color money. Okay, so it sounded like the guy must have yelled it on the goddamn microphone, but he really didn't. But he slammed Plies into the audience, and of course, once that happened, it was all this confusion. You can definitely see the video of them fighting on the ground. Okay, Plies and this guy, security trying to get control of everybody. Plies' hat, that motherfucker, they never came off. Why? Oh, Ricky Smiley, they had a whole fucking conversation with Plies' hat. Okay, they said that he was the real MVP because that motherfucker did never let him down. It never come off. You guys have got to hear it because Plies' hat is saying how, you know, he was made at Liz, you know, in the center kiosk at the mall, and, you know, he told Plies, you know, he never go anywhere without him and all kind of shit. It is the most fucking ignorant ass shit you have ever heard, but it is some funny shit. Plies, in this video, this extended video that I saw, he fights the guy. That hat don't never come off, and then security is able to get Plies' ass back up on that stage. They hustle the guy off somewhere, and how about Plies continue to do his concert? So while it was probably not good for Plies' street cred, I think we all should probably blame his fucking security. As soon as I saw that video, I was just like, why the fuck would security let that guy get up there and get that close to him? But then Plies was the one who invited him up there. Still, security sometimes has to have the forward, you know, they have to be able to predict and see a situation for what it is. Okay, this nigga get up there looking like, you know, the motherfucker is two sheets to the wind and his eyes is bloodshot and he wobbly and all of this shit. No, this would have been a situation where it's like, nah, bruh, man don't need to be up there. And I bet you many of them will step up their game after shit like that happens, because you just don't never know with people. Plies and, you know, him in his effort to, you know, be like the cool rapper and let his fan up there, honey. That next day he had to perform somewhere, and that motherfucker had a fucking gate. The damn Magic Mountain, Six Flags, Disneyland separation gate. You know, when they have the lines. That nigga was rapping from like behind the gate. Yeah, I bet you won't jump your ass up here this next time. But you know, Plies is still my man. Okay, Plies is tiny. What do you guys really expect Plies to do? He's little. That's why you pay security. Quiet as it's kept, it's a whole bunch of rappers out there that get their ass beat when they are, you know, taken by surprise. You know, shit like that happens. And honey, let me tell you, that guy, he looked like he was pretty fucked up after that. Now, I'm sure Plies got a good couple of licks in on him, on top of security. That motherfucker's lip was busted, and, you know, shit was off of the, he all tired of talking, all this was just hanging and spit. I said, somebody get bruh, man, and just tell him to just don't do that again. He never addressed it. He didn't never say anything about it. He kept up with Sweet Pussy Sad Day. We just gonna move forward from there. And I bet you rappers won't be putting these motherfuckers up on the stage with you again, would you? Tamar and Vince are in the blogs again, and it's because, once again, they're being accused of not paying their bills. There's been stories that have been ongoing about Tamar and Vince not paying studio bills. I think I've even talked about it in Top of the Blogs before. Not paying studio bills, not paying makeup artists, not paying hairstylists. Well, what they're saying is that studio time and all that hadn't been paid. As far as like the makeup and the hairstyles and things, Tamar wouldn't put anybody under contract. So it was sort of just like on the, you know, on the nigga hookup, you my homeboy, you my homegirl, you gonna do your makeup and your hair, and I'm gonna pay you when I pay you. That's not how we conduct business. And once the people came out and said that Tamar, you know, didn't pay them, she got very upset that they were even requesting contracts because we are friends. Well, Tamar and Vince have been around long enough and have had money long enough to know that contracts are required so that we don't have no issues. So there's all these rumors going around saying that they have money problems. There's some back taxes that are owed and rich folks problems. I never thought that Tamar and Vince are truly like having for real money problems. Like I read in the Funky Geneva column, I just felt like, you know, they just was like, fuck them, we'll pay them when we pay them kind of thing. Maybe not the best at keeping track and paying on time and all that, but I didn't know if I believed, and I still don't know if I believe that they are having, you know, serious money problems. They might be living a little bit too large. It's just 3 of them. For them to have that huge ass house, sometimes maybe it might be time to downsize a little bit, but that's not saying that they're not rich still. They still are quite rich. I mean, everybody is still working, so I don't really understand why they're not paying. The newest thing now is a nanny is saying that she was working for them for $1,500 a week, and that they did pay her for that. However, they didn't pay her for overtime. So the overtime hours is something like $161,000, the lady is trying to say. Now, I don't know if there was a contract involved here, but this lady is probably going to have a pretty good fight in court, because how can you prove overtime? You're not clocking in and out. You don't have any type of show of, you know, what you were doing. So I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, what do you guys think about Tamar and Vince? You know, this whole thing about them not paying their bills. Do you think they're broke, or do you just think that they're of the way of thinking is like, pay them when I pay them. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. That's kind of how I see it. The Furious 7 movie, did you guys see it? I actually just saw it yesterday with my son. I took off from work and I had a really nice day of going to the movies and going to eat with my Joe. Jada could not be bothered with us. She was like, fuck y'all, I'm going to the park with my girlfriends, honey. Jada is the most social butterfly, honey. She loves hanging with her girlfriends. So Joe and I went to go see Furious 7, and it was very good. It is one of those movies that has your nerves all the way on the edge the whole entire time. I never really was into the other Furious movies, Fast and Furious movies. I think I saw like the first 2, and then I hadn't seen any more. I saw a little bit of Tokyo Drift, you know how you just be going through the cable channels and see a little bit of it, but never have seen really any of the other movies. So I was worried that I was going to be lost on Furious 7, so I ended up watching online yesterday before I went to the movies. I watched the 6th installment, and that did help me kind of get on track, but it wasn't necessary. I think on 7th I would have probably been able to catch on with no problem. But yeah, you guys, it was very, very good, and it just the whole time that you're watching, you have like this sadness a little bit about the fact that Paul Walker died even before they could finish the movie. Now, they said that he had pretty much finished 80% of the movie, and that they just had a few little scenes that they had to change up and make some changes to. However, they had pretty much done everything with the movie. They were going to scrap the movie after he died, and then the family stepped in and said no, he would have wanted this movie to go ahead. And evidently Paul Walker has brothers that look and sound exactly like him, so they were able to, I tell you guys, computers is just amazing, the things that computers can do. But they were able to use his brothers, between the voice and the looks of his 2 brothers. They were able to impose his face onto the body and use the brother's voice to do the little ending scenes and stuff like that. But yeah, you guys, very, very, just the whole time, like, I just couldn't even look. I'm gonna get a little, I don't even know why I'm getting all emotional feeling, because I wasn't no big, huge Paul Walker fan, but you know, just when you look at things, and he seems like he was a good enough dude, and he's such a good looking white guy. It's just like, gosh, it's just sad. It's just sad that he died. But anyway, the movie was really, really good. If you like a lot of clutch your damn shirt, breathtaking excitement, if you like a lot of fighting and blowing up and fast cars, and honey, this is the movie for you for sure. That's 2 hours of my fucking nerves just on edge. I mean, I don't want to do no spoilers in the movie or anything, but I mean, you guys already know that Paul Walker is no longer with us, so I'm imagining that this is going to be the end of the run, which is another sad thing, because this was a franchise that obviously was making good money and doing so well that it seemed like the way the movie was progressing anyway, that they had plans of making an 8 and probably a 9 and a 10 until the shit just ran dry. But I'm assuming that it's done. It's a done deal. If you guys know differently, though, you can let me know in the comments. But yeah, have you guys seen the movie? What did you think about it? Did you have the same little sadness when you were watching because you just knew that Paul wasn't there anymore? Alright, you guys, self-proclaimed dark-skinned activist Rashida Strober has called Kendrick Lamar a hypocrite. And the reason that she's called him a hypocrite is because Kendrick Lamar just announced that he was engaged to longtime love. I believe this was a high school girlfriend. And she is black. However, she is very fair-skinned. Miss Dark-Skinned Activist thinks that for someone who is always preaching the black person's stance, that he should be with somebody of more color. You guys already know that I don't like shit like this. To me, I think this is very ignorant. Okay, this is obviously a person who's been very affected. She's dark-skinned. She's had some very bad times, as a dark-skinned black woman, bullied, fought, a lot of negativity in her life. So she has now, it just always kills me that somebody in their quest to just be this whole black activists, they forget that black people are many, many shades. I mean, from the very lightest of the light to the very darkest of the dark, black people, and we all are still black. That's what makes us unique. This is like racism within the black race, because now what you're essentially saying is that this black person is not black enough. And the girl that he's engaged to, there was some discussion about what she was. Finally found out that her father is black, her mother is mixed. That's black enough for me, you guys. I have a problem with dark-skinned black activists who only advocate for dark-skinned blacks. Now you are cutting out a group within your own group. I don't understand why we as black people are so fucked up in the head that we can't just all accept black for black. I didn't even want to talk about it, but I couldn't even ignore it. Jamila asked me to talk about it, and I was like, you know what, I am going to talk about it because it's just fucking ridiculous. Black people, why we can't never just band together? You mean to tell me if we was at a march somewhere and we were all going to stand arm to arm together against whatever the establishment is, she's going to have a problem with somebody that's lighter than her? That when we sing the song that James Brown has made so popular for the black folks, that it really should be say it loud, I'm dark-skinned black and I'm proud? Really? And we've given a lot of these rappers flack about, picking exotic women and, going after the Kardashians of the world and the Armenians and the Puerto Ricans, and the girl is black. No, the problem is she's too light. I'll never understand it. I think it's very, very sad. We not gonna never, ever get on the same page if we always so busy trying to figure out the differences within just our own group. Why can't we celebrate those differences, you guys? Let me stop, okay? Because I just feel like I'm just doing too much preaching. But you guys get my drift on this whole thing, right? I'm tired of the extra dark having a problem with the lights. I'm tired of the extra lights having a problem with the darks. I'm just like, fuck it, you all black. Let's all live together in harmony, okay? That's all I'm saying. So the other day I heard that Lil Wayne had dropped his lawsuit quietly against Birdman and Cash Money Records, and I was surprised. There wasn't much talk about it in the blogs, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna wait and see how this plays out. Turns out that originally he had filed the case in New York City, and Birdman and Cash Money were going to contest the fact that it shouldn't be in New York City, it should be in Louisiana. So to save time, Lil Wayne closed the case out in New York and reopened it in New Orleans, or refiled it, I guess I should say. Y'all know I'm not a lawyer. It's still going on, $51 million, and also trying to get ownership of the artist Drake and Nicki Minaj. So yeah, that's still going on. While we're talking about Lil Wayne, I guess I'll also mention that Superhead was in an interview with Vlad TV the other day, and when asked if she would ever leave Lil Wayne alone, because we know that Lil Wayne has like a string of women. Well, I guess I shouldn't say a string. We know that he's supposedly in a relationship with Christina Milian, and I still don't seem to believe that relationship. And I've seen him in pictures with that Middle Eastern chick. What is her name? The one that I think he was supposedly engaged to. So I don't really know if I believe the Christina Milian thing, but they going on with it as if they're a couple. So in short, Superhead says she will always fuck Lil Wayne, and anybody that he decides to be with will have to just deal with that fact. One of Christina Milian's fans asked her what does she think about that, and all she tweeted back was, who? I guess that's Christina's stance on it. They don't, the mamas that Lil Wayne has, none of them really like Christina Milian. Like I said, the relationship doesn't seem genuine. Originally, when they said that they were together, I thought it was because she was going to be on his label, or she was working with him, or something like that. And you know, this was like good publicity for her. You guys know how Christina Milian rolls. Anytime that she about to have a new album or some shit that she trying to put out, she gets with the producer. One time she fucked around and messed her game up so bad she married the nigga and had a baby. And y'all remember how that shit turned out. But yeah, that seems to be Christina Milian's MO, is to fuck whoever it is that's producing her shit, and hopefully that will keep her name out there, honey. I guess if it works for you, then it works for you. But who cares about Superhead? I think she's a beautiful girl who is so fucking damaged in the head that, you know, whatever she says, we can't even worry ourselves about it now, can we? Every now and then we have to do a follow-up story, and this will be one about your boy Creflo Dollar. Y'all remember me telling you about Pastor Dollar and him asking for you to pass the dollar for his $65 million jet that he was trying to purchase for his church World Changers. Well, now they're saying that again. While you was laying out your clothes and getting your edges pressed for Resurrection Day, the FBI was busy arresting Brother Dollar for, I think they said it was, oh, you guys, I wrote it down. I want to get the term correct. The term is theft by fiduciary. 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 If I said it right, theft by fiduciary. They caught Pastor Dollar on surveillance camera in his office taking $15,000 out of the tithes and using it for whatever his own personal reasons were for. You guys, as much as I like to make fun and tease about Pastor Dollar, something about this story doesn't sound right. Don't you find it very strange that they were able to just catch him taking $15,000 out of his... I can't really put my finger on it. I'm not really sure what I think about this, but something in the story doesn't sound right. It almost sounds like a frame-up job to me, because the video of him taking the money out of the tithe and pocketing it don't just seem convenient that they was able to catch him, or you know, that he did it in front of other people, or something ain't right about the story. I'm not gonna say set up, but it just sounds like he would be smarter than that. And then it was interesting that when I read the article, one of the deacons was like, I never thought that he would do anything like that. I was like, yeah, it sounds like them deacons got together and was tired of Brother Dollar, and that they decided to, you know, maybe get him, knew that he was going to take this money and maybe set bruh man up. I mean, but I guess if he was taking the money, he's taking the money, right? Okay, so what we gonna do, you guys, is we gonna do some dinners for sale, you know, try to help pass Creflo Dollar out, okay? Chicken dinner's $6.50, fish dinner's $7.50, rib dinner's $8.50, and combination plate of all three for $10. All right. Poor Creflo Dollar. Y'all ain't gonna let that man live, ain't you? And lastly, this story about DMX. This is another story that doesn't sound right to me, but I'm just going to tell you guys how I read it. So evidently DMX had just performed somewhere, and it was 12:30. Man, y'all, shit goes down that day before Easter, okay? While you guys was at the house trying to get y'all foods together for Resurrection Day after church services, DMX and his homeboys was at the gas station in New Jersey. He had just finished performing. There was a gentleman there at the gas station who recognized him and wanted to go up to him and talk. I guess he was a fan. Supposedly he goes up to DMX and he's talking to him about music. One of DMX's crew members comes around and pulls a gun on him and says, give me all your money. Oh boy, $3,200 in his pocket, hands it over, and then DMX proceeds to snatch it out of his hand, pockets it. They jump into one of 4 Escalades and take off driving with this man's money. This man then jumps into his car and follows DMX and is able to get the license plate of one of the Cadillac Escalades. Now, what y'all think with that story? If I was a betting person, and sometimes I am, I would say that sounds more like a drug deal that's gone bad, that this was a drug dealer in the gas station, they were meeting up together for whatever they were trying to get, and that they rolled the damn drug dealer. Took his damn money, $3,200. I mean, who the fuck walks around with $3,200 damn dollars in their pocket? And nigga, I understand you want to hold a little something, but goddamn, they robbed him. He's a drug dealer. He doesn't call the police. No, he chases them because he's trying to get his money back, and when he's not able to do that, then he takes down the license plate. He comes up with this cockamamie story and he tries to report them. But yeah, y'all, ain't no charges been brought up. No charges brought up against DMX. Or anybody in his crew. I don't even know if there's been a report filed or whatever. So yeah, you guys, I think this is just but that's another story that don't make no goddamn sense, right? Nigga, if you was legitimate and you was walking around with $3,200 damn dollars in your pocket, and now all I can say is that's what the fuck you get. Take that shit down quite a few notches. If it make you feel good, put your 3 20s in your pocket. Break one of them 20s up to 2 10s. You can get you some ones if you want to. Break one of them 10s down to 5 1s and a 5, okay? Make you feel like you got more money in your pocket, but nigga, don't be walking around no 32. You almost deserve to get your ass robbed. That's all I can say. But what y'all think about that story? You think that they robbed them? What you think? Alright, you guys, let me get off of here, go get my sushi and take it on back to work. You guys remember that we do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.